Hey parents, it's me. I just wanted to go over finishing up the 40 book challenge for the year. It gets a little bit different at this time of the year, so I wanted to make sure you were aware of the changes and aware of the expectations for your child so that they can be successful and come to our final party. As you know, this year they have been required to read 3 to 4 books a month. I know that 3 or 4 a month times 9 does not equal a complete 40. I have chosen to leave the goal at that because for some kids, reading 3 to 4 books a month is a huge accomplishment, especially at the beginning of the year. Um, so when we get to this time of year, we have to look at how many books your child has left. So if you could pull out their little chart in the back of their homework folder and look at how many unsigned books, and then divide that by 3 for March, April, and May. For example, if your child has 15 books not signed off, divide that by 3. That means they're needing to read 5 books per month for these last 3 months of school. I am aware that that can kind of add up for some of your kiddos. I have put in the graphic novels, so there is a couple of those that kids can read. I think I've got 4 on there. So those they can read in a day or two. The poetry they can easily read in a day or two. And then we have read a lot of read alouds in class this year, and those can also count if they don't have those down. So hopefully getting to that 40 isn't too much of a stretch this time of year, but I did want you to make you aware that your child may have to read more than the required 4 books a month in order to make it to the final party. And in May, I don't want them up against 15, 16 books in 1 month because that becomes really, really miserable. So start now, take the number of books that they don't have signed off, divide it by 3, and make that their goal to get to the end of the year. This month, for the month of March, it will be 4 books again. Our party is going to be an outdoor party where they can bring their scooter, their skateboard, their rollerblades, anything they can carry, and then they get to use that fun equipment outside on the playground. April, I will be another outdoor party. I'm not sure what it will be yet. I'm hoping the weather cooperates and we can be outside. It will be 4 books for that. And then May, our final party will be some sort of water party. In the past, I've been able to coordinate with the city fire department, and they come with their fire trucks and hook them up to the fire hydrants and spray the kids down with their hoses. And it's tons of fun. I'm not sure North Salt Lake's policy with that. I also need to check with the school and district policies. Either way, we will have a water party, whether we just turn on the sprinklers or have some fun water games. But it is super fun. I want all of my kids to be able to participate, but get them reading to go to that party in May, that big, huge water party. It is all 40 books. So make sure they are reading to get there. Couple of things if you're starting to struggle with different genres. I know as they finish up some of the genres they enjoy, it gets a little bit tricky to find maybe a mystery or a classic book or a fantasy book, especially if you're not real familiar with those genres yourself. Check out my book list. I will include that in the email, the link to it. It has the genres listed. So that is an awesome resource. And also keep in mind, parents, if you could help me help your child pick appropriate level books. Really, by this time of year, they should be reading books that have a Lexile or a difficulty level of, I would say, 700 Lexile points or above. You can Google any title of a book. It's going to get you a Lexile. Reading anything below that really isn't going to challenge most of my students. So make sure they're picking appropriate books. The point of this challenge is really to get them into books that are appropriate, building new vocabulary, having them practice those skills such as perseverance and goal setting to develop critical thinking skills. And the more difficult a book, the more they're able to do that. If they're reading books way below their level, yes, they can pass off. Yes, they get through them, but it's really not encouraging all of those skills that we're trying to build. Audiobooks. those are an awesome, awesome resource to use. I know there are many different apps now that have audiobooks. Have your child follow along with the regular hard copy of the book, and that can get them through the book quicker. I know myself, I am a huge fan of audiobooks. I listen to them in the car, on the way to the store, on the way to soccer practice, on the way to dance practice, on the way to grandma's house. I always have on some sort of audiobook, and I am kind of amazed at how quickly I can get through them that way. They can also, kids can listen to an audiobook sitting on their bed for 10, 15 minutes before they go to bed at night. And it kind of frees up you as a parent to help with your other children, to help with other things that you need to get done. So remember, those do count. They are awesome. Use the Davis County Library. Davis County Library is fantastic. We have the Bountiful Library right on Main Street in Bountiful. If they don't have the book your child wants, they can pull it in from the Farmington, the Kaysville, all of theirs. They usually have it within like 48 hours, I think is the longest I've had to wait for books to be transferred between their libraries. A really fun library, if you haven't been, is over to the Farmington Library. It's gorgeous. It has a huge selection of kids' books. I really do love the extra 10-minute drive to Farmington. Gets you some great books too. Or they can just transfer them to Bountiful. So make sure you're using the Davis County Library. The Sora app, I sent that out a few weeks ago. The kids just log in with their Davis School District login, and that has a whole bunch of ebooks on it that are also great. I know a lot of my fast finishers at school, I just tell them to jump on the Sora app, and they know how to do it at school, and they can read books that way as well. So hopefully that cleared up the end of the year with 40 book. Make sure your child really is finishing up those last few books. If you have questions, please reach out. Let me know. I would hate for them not to get to go to the big water party at the end. So yeah, reach out. Let me know how I can help. And thank you for all your support.